you all for coming. And aren't you really fired up now? And how about this venue? This theater. You know, when I was growing up, we didn't have anything like Facebook. As a matter of fact, if you had your face on a wall, it was not a good thing. We didn't have Twitter back then. The only tweets we ever had was a song by, I think it's Bobby Day, and it was called Rock and Roll. But we have all those things today. But what we don't have oftentimes is what we've seen here. And it's people coming together. When I used to go to movies, there was always, early on when I was a child, there used to be newsreels. And you used to go and see what was new and what was happening in the world. And that was fascinating. And being here today, we can see that as well for our community. And I think it's amazing. You know, what we want is, we want a world-class community. We want a community that's sustainable. And we heard that early on in these presentations. And then we heard from people that are trying to make that happen. And how do we do that? Well, we do that by protecting our environment. Steve Lamb is a strong advocate of that. Your legislature is working hard on that. But it takes a village to build a child, but it takes a community to make a sustainable world. And you are doing that here in the county. And I got to compliment you on it. But it takes government to help. And we heard from Commissioner D'Amato how we need to look at our planning and try to create areas for our community to grow in certain ways. Business, residents, providing for our elderly, and also providing for our children. And I think that's very important, and I heard that loud and clear. We need to teach our children to be successful. Not everybody's cut out for college. Not everybody's cut out to just work at a job. There's some of us that are cut out to be entrepreneurs. And we've heard in ways that we can actually help encourage that. But I see that in our community now. I see our community being involved. I see our businesses ready and willing to have people come through and learn what those people that have come before them know, and passing that knowledge on. And I think that's wonderful. And we try to make our kids to the point where they want to come back here. And that's how we create that sustainability. And then we heard from Petra how we want to make our community beautiful and winsome with design, with art, and being involved in that. And I think that's amazing. And you know, some of the scenes that she showed from, it looks like architecture in Europe, we can have here very easily. That was a Honda dealership, I think, is the building that she wants to have. Hopefully they're not going to bulldoze that like they did. We'll see. Food, one of my favorite things. We can have a variety of different foods. You had a lot of bread at that table, though, Petra, that you showed. And bread isn't the best thing for your health long term, but there's other foods that we can have, and you've all talked about that and how we can encourage that. Flying, you know, and I think that you created a great program to get that off the ground. And I'd like to see more and more students involved in that. And I want to see you come back with that apprenticeship for those mechanics that are going to be working on those aircraft, that then they can take those jobs into other areas, hopefully, of our state. Industrial hemp is also a big thing. I didn't hear anybody talk about that. I'm sure if Hayden was here, he would mention that. But that's something that our community can develop. And not just growing hemp, but actually processing it, because it's a very sustainable product that hopefully someday we're not going to have styrofoam cups anymore. And we won't have to worry about those terrible plastic straws anymore. So those are things that we can do. Entertainment. Who doesn't want that? And movies. That's amazing. And while we might have some cafes, I'd like to see us more going to the dogs. I love dogs. So I'm going to leave you all with the comments of our chairman. Citrus County is so cool, so cool. I want to thank you all for coming. Thank you for your involvement. And just let's take some of those ideas and make them reality.